difficult for people that don't know Irish. Obviously, they wouldn't understand it. But we have every one of the things translated there. So if I give out the copies, and I'm going to read at least part of this, the main part of the talk, which is about the Book of Our Man. And actually, we have an awful lot of stuff here because.
You want to give them out now, Brian?
I think we give them up.
Okay. Visa? No, King County.
Now, we don't have to worry, I think, about those right this minute.
Okay, here.
You know, St. Patrick wrote two things that we have, two pieces of history. Documents. He's the only person in Europe, I mean, this makes him absolutely unique in Europe, that we have something from that he wrote, which all authorities now believe that he did write them. We don't have his direct handwriting anywhere, but we have copies of them. And that was his confession, which was a defense of himself when he was being attacked by some of the British bishops. And we had a letter to Coroticus, who was actually a Celtic nobleman. The word cardigan today comes from, the English managed to corrupt words when they translate it, but Coroticus was in that part of Wales, and like I was just reading lately now that there's no doubt the Cardigan is named, that area of Wales is named after this guy that St. Patrick damned for capturing and putting to death Christians and taking some of them into slavery. Now, I have copies of those documents here translated into English, which all of you take, please, and read them, because these are the things. People will mention snakes. I'm going to put an end to the snake shortly. But Irish, somewhere we have copies of that also. The problem of Patrick. The problem with Patrick is that because of dates and the little we know about the 5th century, that people had come up with, maybe there was 2 Patricks, maybe there was no Patrick, and the annals, which are notoriously bad for that period of time, the annals don't get kind of exact for another couple of 100 years. They have 4 dates for his death. So this created confusion, and there were various explanations. But as Brother Quinn explained, you have to go back to basis, and the only things we do know are the. I start off by let's give out the English version of. Let me find it. St. Patrick. So I let you pass it out first. Monopoly. Years ago, some Englishman said to him, he says, if you Irish were so damn smart and great, how come you're not mentioned in the Bible? And he says, no. You know we are. He said, haven't you ever heard of Christ teaching daily in the temple? Now, I'm going to start reading, the translation should be, as I mentioned above, the Cathach. I'm going to skip the first part, which is about Colin Hill's book. Lack of time. You can read that yourself, and there's an Irish version of it here also. So, I'm going to just go through the Irish part, and then I'll pick it up from there. Now, the Cathach is the oldest book we have, which was written around 600. But I'm starting now saying, are you all where I was or where I am? Maradurus hús, sé an Cathach an leabhar sin a dhamhfuil Akadi Bilokir Dad is a shade, credit for a lower pool the Kiel Glean Niva Hennegan, lower scream Padre Faith. Njønstrudo na lehanning, gur skristen egen amach edem an skrivi bopa art. Dervig les tak an eine maris teres na hete blien. Start down. Locked election is, gur we start down op beskriven lauw, agus gur skrif sé quintes a blien mele at meel, opgeerde se shop. De weer a horiske peen, waar vi sé skrift aan. Capan na hole head, gur blad ik dingen nu web screen over Ellens en over. Gur an alla verdaanam, Sapiens et scribe Optimus, sjen dinne kliste agus screen over anala, maas te blien, och eet dacha disse koei. Sleerdoen is gur skrist dingen nu dini maak enem daanling, deen gno, en na aan, se lauwer agus gur ahri de ruddy Ellis gur gapfi gur be Padre Féin scream and lauer fat. So we now know that this was done on purpose to make it look like Patrick had written the book for some reason or other, which we shall find out why. By the way, this doesn't do anything to Patrick's good name. I mean, he wasn't involved in the politics of these things. So, O'Haven is started, agus vi sé barab a fagach here blianig enough. O'Haven is started agus na politici vi agus tá na haire shot vi hafta. Vi part nach biag I canoin fadri sun omuyup a hug previyup dar vaka a gorsi aflashut in Eire. I moordet viaroen sa na gref part fadri I gard vaka mar kurf a doen fadri. Marachen lauer shot I vak shansta layet I gard vaka previyup the winter mak di heen. So that what I'm saying here is that the Book of Armagh was used politically to gain power in the fight to get Armagh as primary religious seat in Ireland. The Lúsa Shafto is hustling cultish borough in Eastern cultish a windish na Yavura Free Gulapil Iran as father. Here when cultus father le hard baka is the sock of le soul of the stone father. Veda Gamur half hour baka Sabian shade from the shop, nor a weak dram a doctor Naharile na holding the got ma rat. Here in the ancient area down a stria on Liber Angeli, temple shake here the Sadar. Down at Volscrub, the Marcus of Makatas, a Laosha, can cause our Waka a Furkan Keen. Are you all following in the English or somewhere in the Irish? Neither Hanosh, Irid, Aha, the Red Kagawal, is there all Waka, Abison roads and the Bliant, in the shade of the Huffer, is that. Who in their Tashi on road, Abis over their screen door, brother Kirkabur, let Pope Nahaja. The valid in the action, Hussik Birtu of his Tirakan and the Kapeshi, Patriota Eda for the Kale. Lord the Ron showed that Eric Leclerc or Baka, previously of the winter mark, Daka and the LDA. Locket Flesh on Mostruk of Forlahan and the Scouring Polity of the Nama Gahurlo. We naik Ian Surface Shop, we are called our Canon Padre. Of the Sablian Shen door, the Donovan Macklin. Re-aided a screen in our baka agus diag sé as púdach all in both ago. Nor we bring borrow with toward concourt na tira sa blian des a cahar kun a reim a rain the roof. Hook sé court our baka. Screeve a Anam-Cara. By the way, Anam-Cara originally was a confessor. So now we use it as a soulmate or something. So Screeve a Anam-Cara Sabbath being a hound Darvan and Moyle Sutton. Contas garid an doras spás plans sa leabhar, agus nóta ag dainú tosaíocht ardhacha mar príomhanan aglasta. Timpeall an ama seo freisin cuireadh mar fuairm chaileadh áire a thuairt an leabhar agus tugadh mair na canóine an dé a raibh an fuairm sinne. Is uig sin an taine Macmair or Macmair sa bhéire atá fósa. Chail na Macmair na vic mhuiir a bwyd talún a blondál ola, a chymad yn y rhain an leabhar go dtí